you guess that? Oh, it's not even obvious. Al Sullivan has no hair. It's a fact. But the one thing he has is pride. He's currently very proud of one of his family members. Tonight, Al is going to tell us about her. Please welcome Al Sullivan with hair. What hair? Al Sullivan, hair. What hair?
Fellow Toastmasters, when you get up in the morning, what is one of the first things that you do before you walk out the door? You make sure your hair is looking great. I don't. And you know who else doesn't? Many kids' cancer patients at CHEO. There is, I think, almost 100 kids at CHEO right now who are in the cancer ward. Most of them have lost their hair. This story is not necessarily about them, but about a little girl who is 11 years old and my cousin's daughter. Her last birthday, she went around school and said, "I don't want any birthday gifts." She went to her friends and said, "I don't want any birthday gifts." And she went to her aunts, her cousins, and her grandmother and said, "I don't want any birthday gifts. I want you to give money to some charity that does something for kids with cancer at CHEO." 11 years old. Out of the blue, she woke up and this is what she decided. So she decided that she was going to create this charity herself called Angel Hair for Kids. Nev had long hair. Her sister had long hair. Her friends had long hair. And she decided that she was going to ask whoever wanted to get their hair cut and donate that hair for wigs. She had a goal to raise $850 in cash and 8 heads of hair. 11 years old, and she woke up with this thought. I'm going to ask you, how many of you have ever thought of something like that when you were 11? Not one of us is going to raise our hand. It's that rare. So she went to school, and she heard all these kids started to spread the news about this kid that didn't want birthday gifts before she turned 11. And then all of a sudden, it was no longer about the birthday gifts, it was about the hair. The school became this huge topic. The kids around school were talking about cancer patients that they never even hoped to talk about before. She had raised awareness just by saying that she didn't want birthday presents and that she was going to cut her hair. Just by talking about it is a presence that nobody thought that she could achieve. But she did. Do you know how many heads of hair were cut by the hairdresser who went to her school for this event? 19. She exceeded her goal by 11 people. All of them, except for one, her cousin, were under the age of 13. They grew their hair the entire year. And men, if you don't have daughters, you don't know what it's like to comb a head of hair when it's that long. I swear, when I go with my daughter at night, and her hair is about down to about here, and I'm brushing it and brushing it and brushing it, and all I can hear is screams of agony. So there's 19 parents out there that watched their kids grow their hair as long as possible to save kids' indignity, maybe, by giving them wigs so that they could go to school, so that they could go to events and look like normal children and not like me. I'm bald by choice. I actually do have hair. I shave it off regularly. Wouldn't look very good, but it's there. And the joke is on Facebook that I put down a comment on her Facebook after this incredible event and said to her, you know, Nev, I would have given you my hair, but I couldn't have even supplied a set of eyebrows. It's amazing what we can think of to do for charities. Maybe we don't have to do an angel hair for kids. Maybe we don't have to do the MS bike ride that I did last year, or the one that the bike ride that Sanjeev does. Maybe we don't have to do all the charitable work that Bertilia does for CHEO. But what we do need to do is to remember that there's always less fortunate people than us around. And there are so many things that we can do to boost their spirits. Whether it's a visit to a hospital. Recently I went to my uncle's. He was at the General, and I went to and he happened to be a Toastmaster. And I didn't find this out till recently. He had just broken his hip. He's lying in the hospital bed, and he was definitely on some type of drug. And he's lying there, and he's half out of it. I mentioned to him, hey, Uncle Dan, I didn't know you were a Toastmaster. And his eyes lit up, and his head lifted up. And just that visit to the hospital that day made his day, because I touched on a topic that he wanted to. Who knows what you can do to raise someone's spirits? But I'll tell you, you can. Every single one of us can. It may cost money, or it may be free. Nev went from her goal of $850 to $5,376. That bought a lot of wigs for a lot of kids. For a lot of people who couldn't donate hair, they gave money. And they made Nev's charity so important to her and her family that got a Facebook share. I think there was 200 and some shares on Facebook. She doesn't even have a Facebook account. But her mom and her dad and her sister do. The point is, she was inspiring everybody else to do something. I'm not saying you have to all cut your hair, but it is time that we think about things that we can do to help those kids or to help those adults that are less fortunate than us. Charities are about. The problem is that they're all looking for our money. So if you don't have the money to give, I certainly don't. Maybe I have the time. Maybe I have an activity that I can do. Maybe I can organize something for everybody else who does have money to give. I mean, let's face it, everywhere we go, somebody is trying to dig into our pockets for a charity. How many times have you been to a shopping mall today and didn't get asked for some type of money for charity? You could give your entire paycheck and still not give enough. But if an 11-year-old can do this, why can't we, as 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds? To me, that was an incredibly inspiring moment for her to do this. She has hair down to about here right now. I can show you pictures after. But 19 children gave up their hair. Children gave up their hair for other children. I don't think we can find anything more motivating than that. To Nev, she became my hero for a day. We've talked about heroes before. She was my hero for a day, and she's 11. So I go to you and tell you that whatever you can do for somebody else in life, it's time for you to do it. Don't wait, because between now and tomorrow, who knows? I've talked about my roommate Al and his amazing work for Terry Fox. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a charity, and you don't have a charity, and you don't have a special charity, and you don't have a skill that you can pass on for a charity to raise money that you have no idea what you're thinking about now. Every single person in this room has somebody that has been affected by a disease. And if an 11-year-old can do it for somebody that she doesn't even know, Why can't we all? Madam Chair.
Mr. Timer, would you give us 2 minutes to provide some feedback?
With pleasure.